Its infrastructure was everything: housing, roads, construction, power. Infrastructure was, yeah.
You're welcome to Infrastructure Watch. Remember, the station is Real Power 100.5 FM. Now, my guest today happens to be one of Nigeria's most prolific individuals within the infrastructural sector. But of course, you know how we do. I can't actually unveil this guest till after this short break. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back.
Its infrastructure was everything: housing, roads, construction, power. Infrastructure was, yeah.
Okay, you're welcome back. My guest is already seated. Remember, this is Infrastructure Watch. The radio station is Real Power 100.5 FM. Hi, Chief. It's a pleasure to have you here today, sir.
My pleasure.
Now, I'd like you to actually introduce yourself. Can we meet you, sir?
My name is Chief Kenneth Ifekudu, OFR, Abalanze Onyeka Chukwunazobo, MD CEO Diamond Leeds Ltd.
MD CEO Diamond Leeds Ltd.
Yeah.
Of course, it might interest you to know, like he just said, is an OFR. That's an Order of the Federal Republic.
Yes.
That's amazing. I mean, tell us what led to that magnificent national honors.
I believe my good deeds, my philanthropic deeds, and my position in the society earned me that, because I was there, they called me. I never even knew that I was being picked.
You never lobbied for it?
Not at all. Till the 11th hour.
To the 11th hour?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. That shows you have actually contributed magnificently to Nigeria's infrastructure sector.
Yes.
Okay, now you are the MD of Diamond Leeds Nigeria Limited. I'd like you to tell us exactly what the core objectives of Diamond Leeds is all about. What do we need to know about Diamond Leeds?
Diamond Leeds is a construction company founded around 2010.
Okay.
We are strictly into road constructions, drilling, roads, and even consultancy to some extent.
Okay, so you're basically into infrastructure.
Yes.
And of course, this show is Infrastructure Watch on Real Power 100.5 FM. Now, I'd like to ask you something very unique. Do you think your firm can compete favorably well with other big companies within the infrastructure sector?
Why not? They say the journey of 1,000 miles starts in a day. And where we are today, I believe indigenous companies in Nigeria, I think we are one of the topmost, if I'm to say.
Indigenous companies within the infrastructure sector and construction
in Nigeria, yes.
You're one of the topmost, so you likely say you're top 3 or top 5 or top 2.
Top 10.
Top 10. Okay, that's interesting. I like that honesty. So tell us, how did Diamond Leeds start?
This was a dream that was nurtured long ago, because looking around my background, which was banking, my top customers then were mainly contractors who are into infrastructure. So I told myself any day I leave banking that this is what I think I would like to do, because I have passion for it.
So that's what basically inspired you.
Yes.
And when did you start exactly? How long have you been in the industry?
2010 to date.
2010, that's about 13 years.
Yes.
And what would you say has been your biggest challenge in terms of construction or real estate?
The current project we did in Federal Polytechnic Orogu, I would say, is my greatest challenge and my best, because that is where we delivered our signature. The projects there are top notch. We started from the design down to the delivery.
Can you tell us a bit about it? I'd like our listeners to know exactly what this project is all about.
Federal Polytechnic Orogu, we started the journey last 2 years with the design. The mandate was to design a state-of-art polytechnic, starting from the gatehouse down to the road, to the admin building, to the faculty building. The faculty will have 6, to the lecture theaters, which was in phase 1. And our team, I have a very great team, starting from our engineering team to the architectural team. We were able to design a masterpiece. From the buildings to the layout, we were able to get a perfect design and then move into site. And funny enough, we started it at the peak of rainy season. If you have been to Delta, the warrior axis of Orogu, you know that is a very turbulent area when it comes to water.
Yes.
So we were able to maneuver it and deliver quite on time. And today, is talk of town. I don't think there is any federal polytechnic that can compete with federal polytechnic infrastructure-wise.
Wow,
assistance.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, because now this program actually has a video segment, I think it'd be nice for us to take some look at some pictures, probably much later. Now, you are into infrastructure. You are a key stakeholder within the sector. Do you think, because recently now the chairman of Boa Cement announced that they would likely reduce, or he will likely reduce the price of bags of cement from 5,000 to about 3,500. What impact do you think that will have within the infrastructure sector?
That would be a tremendous positive impact on the side of contractors, because we contractors, we face a lot of challenges.
Okay.
The instability of Naira in the market is causing a lot of difficulties for contractors. Let's imagine that when you were bidding for a job, you bidded your job with cement at the cost of 3,500. Depending on where you are working. Today in the east, a bag of cement is sold for 7,200.
7,200.
There in Orogu, Delta State, is sold for 5,400. And meanwhile, in your bill of quantities, this cement might be 3,001, 3,002 when you bid it. So it will be a very, very big relief if the price of cement will be crashed to match with the current realities on ground.
Wow, okay. So you think it will possibly impact on contractors like yourself?
Yeah, positively, because it will make contractors to deliver standard quality jobs and right on time.
And also probably make more profits. Okay, because that's important. That's very important. Now,
to us, profit making most times is not the aim. The aim is to deliver right on time and good quality job.
Okay. Now you just heard that from the chairman of Diamond Leeds. He says his aim is not just to deliver profit, but to deliver great projects that stand the test of time. Yeah. Okay. Now, apart from this Federal Polytechnic Orogun, which you have successfully completed, do you mind to tell us about other projects which you've done in the past?
We've done quite a whole number of projects, from the bridges we've done in Dadinkowa Gumbe to roads we've done in Castina, Kanu, a whole lot of them. In Anambra, we've done a lot across the nation, across the federation, so numerous to start counting.
Okay, now, because now this program is branded, and I'd like you to tell our listeners or our viewers on social media, some of them are thinking now, Diamond Leeds is very, very good, and we would like to contact Diamond Leeds to probably undertake some projects for us. Do you have a phone number or a website you think they can probably reach out to, or your office address?
Currently our corporate head office is number 19 Lingo Crescent, Wusetu, Abuja. And we have our website, www.diamondlease.ng. That's our current website address. Yeah.
Okay, now you heard the website, www.diamondlease.ng, and the office is located at number 19 Lingo Crescent in Wusetu. Now, of course, you're still listening to Infrastructure Watch. The station is still Repa 100.5 FM. Let's take this short break and we'll be back. Don't touch the dial.
It's infrastructure was everything: housing, roads, construction, power. Infrastructure was, yeah.
Of course, it's still Repa 100.5 FM. The show is still Infrastructure Watch, and my guest is still OFR Chief Mr. Kenneth Ifekudu. Thank you for still being with us in the studio.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about your real estate project, because I understand you're also into real estate projects.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about those services, please.
Real estate is a new baby we just moved into early this year. We thought that it's wise for us to assist the federal government in delivering houses.
Okay.
Because the current talk now is on mass housing, but we try to differentiate ourselves from having what we call mass housing. We are moving into, or rather what we are doing now currently is luxury houses, which we have just started one in Bora axis of Abuja.
Luxury homes.
Luxury homes.
Okay.
We are doing 20 units for now. That will be our baby project. And already we've secured sites for many others, but we want to take it one step after another. So after this, we'll now move to the second stage of it.
Okay, do you have any plans to go into probably low-income housing? Or you just want to stick to luxury homes for now?
Luxury homes.
Tell us why. Why?
You have to look at your target market. Already we've gotten enough developers who are into mass housing.
Okay, yes.
And I felt there is need for us to carve a niche. If you are moving into the market, you need to look at who will be your target market. So I felt that instead of us doing mass housing, which we have a lot of them in Abuja here, we decided to carve a niche and do luxury homes so that we can get our own wallet share of the market.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, for our elite listeners, you want to key into this set of luxury homes being developed by Diamond Leeds Limited. You know the address, number 19, Lungu Crescent. Just put it on your Google map and it will bring you to his office. Now, what makes you unique? What makes Diamond Leeds unique? Why should any probably private or public institution want to do business with you?
Diamond Lease is unique because in Diamond Lease, first of all, we have what we call capacity.
Capacity?
Yes, in as much as that we are being discouraged by government policies, but we have capacity. It's only in Diamond Lease that a company can get award letter, move into site without asking for mobilization and deliver quite on time before asking for payment. So we have our capacity. And apart from that, we are unique in what we do. Our buildings are our signature. Any building you see done by Diamond Lease stand the test of time, and it's always unique.
Mr. Capacity. If I call you Mr. Capacity, I hope I will not be wrong. I just figured out that you have a traditional title, a chief title.
Yes.
What is that title, please?
It's called Agbalanze.
Agbalanze.
And in that Agbalanze title, the name I earn is Agbalanze Onyekachuku, meaning that nobody is greater than God.
Nobody is greater than God.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, before now I was thinking probably you could be the Agbalanze of my show. but that's not bad, I think. That's not really bad. Okay, now tell us, how would you describe Nigeria's infrastructure sector today? Do you think we are deficit in any angle or in any aspect in our infrastructure sector in Nigeria?
I would say that we are more than deficit. And government policies are not helping the matters. The way our budget cycle is being run is helping, or rather is not helping matters.
Okay.
For instance, we are in 2023. A lot of roads, a lot of infrastructural projects were in the budget. And one is expecting that we are almost in the last quarter of the year, that all these projects would have come to bear. But surprisingly, it will amaze you that most of the agencies and ministry are still in a procurement cycle in the last quarter of the year, meaning that nothing was achieved in 2023. And to me, it does not make sense. And these are part of what is eating into the infrastructural development in Nigeria, because all those jobs and projects that were executed would have added to the betterment of the public.
So what do you think this government, headed by President Bola Tinubu, needs to do differently to probably bridge the infrastructure deficit?
A budget is the life wire of every economy. People are crying for hardship today because not just because of subsidy removal, no. Had it been the subsidy was removed and the budget of 2023 are being properly implemented, I don't think there'll be circulation of money. People won't be crying the way they are crying, because like us, we are into construction. If you are managing to 20 sites,
okay,
you have your workers working, you have your architects working, your carpenters, your mechanical, electrical, civil engineers, your laborers working. You pay them. As you are making payment, the money they are spending it as well. They pay for school fees and everything. The money keep on degenerating and circulating. So the bedrock is the budget. And every government that cannot fund their budget or implement their budget to 100% is eating into the economy and hardship.
Any government that cannot fund its budget 100%,
yes,
would actually have problems developing the economy.
That is why people are crying, not basically about subsidy.
I agree with you. I agree with that, as well said. Now, in specific terms, which sector infrastructurally is most deficit in Nigeria? Do you think is it that roads or housing or power or security? What are your own thoughts?
Well, security is out of it, because if you bring in security to dominate the scene,
okay,
the number one is road.
Road infrastructure is missing in Nigeria. Deficit.
We need road badly. it's affecting the transportation system in Nigeria. Bad road. You can't travel from Abuja to east or from here to northwest or to northeast without having challenges. A journey that can take 1 hour, 2 hours will end up taking 8 hours because of bad road. So I think the first one should be road.
Okay, now, based on this now, if you were selected as the chairman of Diamond Leeds, probably to solve this infrastructure deficit, how and where would you begin from?
Already, Nigeria is quite big.
Yes.
And we have our federal roads.
Yes.
I'll face the federal roads, which are trunk A roads.
Okay.
I'll give you the speedy action. But that is what connects virtually all the states together.
Now, for young persons, because you started out about 13 years ago, like you said, for young persons looking to actually go into construction or within the subsectors of infrastructural development in Nigeria as entrepreneurs, how would you advise them to start?
First of all, is passion. Whatever you are doing, you must have passion. Passion is very, very key in whatever you are doing. And it's that passion that will make you abide with the ethics. Cutting of corners, for instance. You can hear houses collapsing, bridges collapsing, road failing. These are what cutting of corners. Look at the project from the time of inception. Look at the cost. If it's not what you know that you can do and deliver it quality-wise, don't accept it. But once you accept it, you must deliver on quality. Quality will speak for you. Quality will campaign for you. Quality will make people look for you. So passion number one. Passion makes you abide by the ethics, which abiding by the ethics, you deliver on quality.
Now, of course, you just ate into one of my questions because the rate of building collapses recently in Nigeria has not been very, very, very friendly. What do you think is responsible for that as one who is into the, you're an engineer of repute?
So many factors, ranging from standard organization of Nigeria that are failing in their duty. For instance, let's look at the type of roads that are being sold today. You go to market Y16, which is, if you see Y16 today, it looks like Y12 of yesteryears. You look at Y21, it looks like Y16 of yesteryears. I believe Standard Organization of Nigeria has failed in their duty because they need to be the body enforcing quality. You can't expect a building that you're supposed to build with Y20 or maybe you end up buying Y20 in the market, so-called Y20 in the market, only for you to gauge it. That Y20 will be giving you Y16. Already there is a deficit mechanically or structurally. So I think our major problem is the ones we manufacture in Nigeria, even the ones we import. Standard Organization of Nigeria is supposed to be the watchdog to make sure that all these things that are being sold in the market meet up with the standard required.
You just said Y16, Y12, and there are some listeners or some viewers who are wondering what exactly is Y16. Is that the mathematics formula? You want to break that down for us?
These are rods, type of rods we
Okay.
use in building houses. We have starting from 8, 12. Okay, we have 10 to 12, 16, 20, 21, upwards to 30 and upwards, depending on the size of the structure.
Okay.
They now reduce the gauge. The gauge is now not meeting up as expected.
This is Diamond Leeds. You want to be a part of what they are doing. You want to take a visit to their office at number 19, Lungu Crescent in Wuse 2. Chief, sir. Hi, Chief. What are your last words for our listeners and our viewers on social media?
Let's hold our contractors responsible. Whenever any project is being done in your locality, I believe there is no locality that doesn't have sound engineers. Even if you are not an engineer, we have builders around the area. Let them find out time to visit what they are doing, inspect what they are doing, so that they will always get dividend of democracy at the end.
You've heard the last words from our guests. Everyone should be held accountable, including you. You should also hold yourself accountable as you also try to hold others accountable to deliver sublime infrastructure projects in Nigeria. Remember, the show is Infrastructure Watch. The radio station is 100.5 Repa FM. Until we come your way again, same time next week, keep listening. Don't touch the dial. My name is Afam Okone.
It's infrastructure.